A history of time. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, and weeks. 6 work days and the 7th holy day. The number 7 is also significant as it corresponds with the 7 observable heavenly bodies: the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. The Babylonians ordered the planets from fastest to the slowest moving as they appeared in the sky. The Babylonians were so dominant and influential in ancient times that their 70 weeks spread all around the world. It was adopted by the Persian Empire, the Hebrews, and the Greeks.